Hello, everyone, and welcome to Launchpad of Innovation. This is DPAA's new monthly podcast that will explore the role of technology and its effects on today's omni-channel advertising and marketing ecosystem, with a particular emphasis on digital out-of-home advertising. I'm Barry Frey, CEO of DPAA, which is the global out-of-home trade and marketing organization. We lead the industry towards the digitization of it, towards the innovation, and towards growth of out-of-home advertising. And of course, a big part of that growth is in-store and near-store retail media. Our members around the world reach consumers on their daily journey, on their path to purchase, and increasingly more right at the point of purchase, in-store, in real life, where the huge majority of purchases actually take place. This podcast is brought to you in partnership with AiOO. AiOO is the pioneering Dubai-born AI-powered tech platform specializing in real-time audience targeting. This supercharges programmatic digital out-of-home advertising. AiOO, launched by W Group Holdings, is deployed through their subsidiary, Hypermedia. The platform uses advanced AI algorithms to analyze, identify, and target audience traits, demographics, psychographics, and behaviors all in real time without using facial recognition. We'll speak to them later in the podcast. There's some great folks from Dubai and terrific DPAA members. We'll also have some terrific excerpts and insights from our brand conversations at CES, the Consumer Electronics Show. Each year, DPAA Global leads a member delegation to review the latest tech and their effects on advertising, marketing, and ad tech. We have great conversations with leading heads of marketing at brands, leading heads of media at brands, and some leading agencies throughout the world. They're great, intimate dialogues and conversations. We do this at CES, we do it at Cannes Lions, we do this at Possible, and all throughout the year. But first, we're going to speak with Dominic Venuto. Dominic is Executive Vice President, Chief Product and Data Officer at Horizon Media. Dominic works with Bill Koenigsberg, who built Horizon Media into a huge global advertising platform, the largest independent that exists today. And he also works with some terrific folks at Horizon, including Jill Nickerson and Mark Fenty, who lead the out-of-home area. Dominic also gave our group an expansive yet focused floor tour at CES this year, and we'll talk a bit more about that. Let's welcome Dominic. Good to see you. How are you?
I'm great, Barry. Good to see you too. Always a pleasure.
Same here, and your floor tour that you built for us was great. Everybody loved it, and like I said, it was extensive, and yet it was poignant, it was pithy, and it was purposeful, and that's about my alliteration of P's for the moment. But Dominic, tell us about your career. Let's start there for the moment, and your current role at Horizon Media.
Sure. I like to describe my career as having quarter turns to the right. I started in agency land with Razorfish way back when, actually before that with Anderson Consulting in the consulting business. And then the digital boom happened and I moved to Razorfish. And then after 10 years there, Publicis bought Razorfish and I became an ad man. And I spent 4 years helping scale our agency trading desk, audience on demand for Publicis globally. After that, spent some time at a publisher, a digital savvy publisher, the Weather Channel. I was responsible for the digital application. And I spent some time in ad tech with Amobi and Videology, and then some time in investment banking. So in the advertising space.
Well, you made a lot of progress.
I did, but I'm bummed. Nice wordplay there, Barry. For those that are listening, that's Progress Partners. Yeah, I worked at Progress Partners, made a lot of progress there. A great outfit out of Boston. But every one of my career changes was a quarter turn to the right. And I like to say that if you do enough of those, you end up back at the same place. Here I am back at agency land. And I never thought I would be back at agency after 14 years, effectively, Razorfish Publicis. But I was intrigued with what Bill Koenigsberg, our founder and CEO, was building. And Horizon's a special place. We're the largest independent media agency. We are 2,500 or so people across 3 offices in North America. We have a joint venture with Havas under Horizon Global. And I think we have all the right ingredients to redefine the agency model for the next generation, which is why I'm here. And I'm doing that with product. So as Chief Data and Product Officer, I'm responsible for our Blue platform, So that's an AI native application layer that we use from everything that supports the workflow of the teams. And we also give access to our clients. So everything from strategy, audience interrogation, creating audience segments, data and insights, and then the performance feedback loop is all handled by the Blue platform. And it's the same platform our teams use and the same platform we give to our clients, which I think is unique in the marketplace. And it's a great time to be back at Agency Land. Yeah.
It is, and I'm glad you're back. And you're absolutely right. I've known Bill for, I guess, maybe 25 years or something, and he is special, and so is Horizon and what he's built. It is an incredible company, and I'm so glad you're there. And what great experience! You've been on all sides of the coin with a good focus on digital tech media, and it has kind of made you what you are today. And we appreciate who you are today, Dominic. So I've got another question for you. The role of tech and, of course, AI, needless to say, is on everybody's mind. What are your clients at Horizon Media saying about AI and tech, and how do you serve to guide them in this fascinating territory that we're all exploring together?
AI is certainly on everybody's mind. I think clients are each client is at a different stage. Some are really leaning in and driving transformation and using AI and the Blue platform and our services to do that, taking a customer centric approach, and then having that not just be part of the media equation, but also transform other parts of the organization as well, whether that be the call center, email marketing, print-based marketing, or what have you. So some clients are like, "Yes, this is an opportunity I can to rethink and reinvent my business," and other clients are like, "Hey, we want to know that you guys are on top of it. You know what's happening in the space, and that you're bringing the best tools." Available to the work that you do for us, and a little bit more hands off. Certainly interested, certainly leaning in, but want to know how we are using it to be efficient, how we're using it to service their business. So it's really a spectrum right now, and it's still early days where we've got incredible tools, we've got amazing data assets, and every client situation is unique, and how we assemble those for each client is bespoke to them, and a core foundation of the service that we offer.
Thanks, Dominic. The AI is certainly one of the challenges, and you so articulated how you and your brands are approaching it. What are some of the other big brand challenges that you and Horizon and Bill and everybody are seeing today?
Yeah, it's interesting. I've been on the vanguard of technological change for 2.5 decades now, maybe a little more. Back in the early days, it was SAP and ERP solutions, and we had Siebel CRM. For those listening that remember that, then came the digital wave, then came mobile, then came streaming video, programmatic capabilities, and now we're in AI. So I've definitely seen these waves before. This AI revolution is unprecedented. It really is. I haven't seen anything happen so fast and so profound as what we're seeing in the business with AI. But fundamentally, as a business, the challenges are still the same as: how do I grow my business? Tell me more about my customers. How can I reach them? How can I service them? How can I better reward my loyal customers? Who are my next set of prospects? What's my churn going to be? Like, fundamental business questions haven't changed. The tools and technology we deploy to solve those have and evolved. And that's what's exciting about AI, is that just the power that it unleashes to solve some of these fundamental business questions. But the beauty is, once you've created or you have applications that are AI enabled, like our Blue platform, you can actually use natural language, English words and sentences, as you would in a business boardroom, to solve the questions. You can ask the technology which customers are likely to churn, and get a coherent response back. And what that has enabled is just this rapid exploration. I no longer have to. I've democratized access to data. I no longer have to go to a data scientist to get an answer and wait days or weeks, and then iterate on that on a similar time frame. I can get a response within seconds and minutes, and pursue a line of inquiry to its natural conclusion. So that's really exciting. But fundamentally, the business challenge is the same. How do I grow my business? And as a partner to our clients, we're there and bringing the tools to help them do just that.
And you describe it as that timeline of everything is just so compressed, and you get back everything you're needing so quick. Does that present its own challenges, Dominic, as well?
It does because it's fundamentally changing the brand agency relationship. It was interesting. I have this anecdote, and bear with me, but I think it captures the state of play and how AI has changed the dynamics. But at Razorfish, we were really technology consultants, systems integrators, using the web as an interface to consumers and connecting back-end systems into a seamless user experience. And I was in the boardroom with big companies, New York Times, Wall Street Journal, Condé Nast were some of my clients. And they were coming to Razorfish and me and my team to help them navigate that. We were strategic business partners. When Publicis bought Razorfish, we became part of the ad world, and immediately overnight we were seen as vendors, and we lost access to the C-suite because we were within the agency holding company. And I think we've been in that vendor bucket, transactional bucket for a very long time. Now, with the tools that we have available, and just even in the last 12 months, the type of questions and problems we're able to solve for our clients is bringing us back into that consultative, strategic position, helping the C-suite, answer some of these questions that have been somewhat elusive, frustratingly. So, it's an exciting time. The tools are exactly that, tools. How do you put them to use? But fundamentally, it's about driving growth and using them. And what's exciting about where we're at today is that we get to reclaim the strategic mantle again with our clients and really help them through navigate this another period of disruption.
That's so interesting to hear you say that because, as we know, maybe it was starting about 5, 6 years ago, the McKinseys and the Price Waterhouses were saying, we have access to the C-suite. We know the CFO, we know the CEO because we're consultants, and the holdcos didn't. So this puts you back in that, so to speak, driver's seat as well as the C-suite.
100%. And to drive that point home, we're working with a retailer right now, and our Blue platform is an end-to-end connected marketing platform. We take our clients' first-party data, we enrich that, we place it into its own protected container, and we give it back to our clients. In a lot of ways, we're AI-ifying our clients' businesses in a matter of 6 or 7 weeks, depending on the data sets that we're ingesting. We're working with a retailer right now, and they're using the Blue platform to understand where to open the next 3 stores and what products to put on the shelves of those 3 stores based on the audience that's available within a 5-mile radius of that particular location. Now, think about that. We're a media agency. Those are not necessarily media questions that would otherwise be in the realm of your agency relationship, but they're emblematic of the type of questions that we're able to help solve. Like, these are real business problems, and we've got the tools that we're bringing to bear. And that's just one example. There's other examples in other industries, whether it be in the telco space or the CPG or fast moving goods.
That's great. We're so excited about the retail space here at DPAA because as the digital out of home global platform for all technology, media owners, advertisers, etc., we represent with our membership um, consumers' journey, their daily journey, their path to purchase, and increasingly more now being able to reach consumers at the point of purchase. So we reach people in the physical world, near store and in store, and that's where the majority of actual purchases take place. So I think we'll have some more to speak about there. Dominic. Dominic, you gave us a great tour as we've talked to. You've been doing the CES for a while. I know, do a lot of homework. You do a tour on your own. You pick out and curate what we should see. What some of the technologies that you've either seen at CES or you just believe in that are really cool things that should matter now to all of us in the advertising and media world?
Yeah, I I love going to CES. It's a hotbed of innovation, and you touched on a big theme in just talking about digital out of home and how it has evolved and been enabled by technology. I think that's a big theme that we've seen over the last couple of years is the connection of the physical and the digital worlds together, and the technology is doing that. I think for those that weren't on the floor, LG has a demonstration of a car windscreen, which is basically a transparent touchscreen as your windshield on your car. So picture driving down the street, seeing a billboard, but touching the windscreen where the billboard is and swiping that billboard into your center console, and then getting more information about what was on that billboard. I mean, it seems like science fiction today, something out of Minority Report, but what we see on the floor at CES is generally available within a period of 12, 24, 36 months. So these aren't too far out. Like, while they might seem a little science fiction today, they're definitely in the realm of possible. So there's a lot of exciting things. That was one thing that blew me away this year, is seeing a prototype of that.
By the way, what I love about that, Dominic, in our arena, as cars become more autonomous, it does give the driver or whoever's in the car kind of more time, space, and kind of bandwidth to do just what you said, to kind of pick it out and slide it around, and that all goes into play with autonomous level 4 or 5, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's not lost on the consumer experience companies, LG, Samsung, TCL, Hisense, or Sony. All of these traditionally consumer electronic companies are producing uh, electronic devices and products, and now entering and vying for the cabin experience in the car with services, technology, screens, sensors. And that's exactly right. The cars are being designed for this new world where we've got that much more time, whether we want to continue working, whether we want to rest or relaxation, or be entertained with a TV show or movie. They're definitely anticipating those environments. And I think for your industry and your members, that's something to pay attention to, that interaction, that connectivity, the connected home to the connected car to the connected self. That is getting those connections are getting shorter, more seamless, and much more engaging, and presenting different opportunities. You have to be ready to receive them and take advantage of them when they appear.
Yeah, and like the consulting companies you've worked with, we are a trade organization, but we act as a consultant to a lot of our members. So and advertisers and agencies. So right now we help them understand, how long an advert should be if you're on a highway, how long it should be if you're in an elevator, what the content should be if you're in a gym with long, time in terms of looking at a screen. And now the same as we enter into this area, how long should that content be that you're bringing from outside inside? What should the content be in terms of, is it a TV commercial? Is it created just for the cabin experience, as you mentioned? And it's very exciting. And we, together with smart people like you and Horizon, will help guide all of our brands and clients together to that. Digital at Home, talk about that a little bit, Dominic. What do you think about where it is today? I think we've talked a little bit about where it's going tomorrow. What's some of your thoughts as an industry?
Yeah, it's an exciting development. Just the quality, the types of screens. We've got bendable screens now. They can go around columns. We talked about the transparent windscreens that are interactive. You've also got those transparent television screens that are in retail applications. They could be a glass front. They could be the front of a storefront as well. So it's really, what's exciting about it is that we're really connecting the physical and the digital worlds together through these. And I think that the digital out of home sector is an enabler, it's a facilitator of that. You're right in the middle there. You are a physical, by definition. You're out of home. You're away. You're in these other moments, and you get to stitch that together. And I think you're well positioned to be creative and inventive in this space, as the hardware companies are figuring out how to bring these products to consumers. You and your members are there to help monetize that and make those moments much more engaging and enjoyable.
Yeah, we built a nice ecosystem with LG is a member, as an example. Daktronics is a member, and other companies are members. We built this ecosystem of media owners, hardware, software, technology, brands, agencies, and we all rise together. In terms of that rise, in fact, we have a member, Westfield Rise. But what would you suggest to our members so they can raise share of the media pie? Any thoughts on that area?
I think in this day and age, with innovation happening so quickly, my number one counsel to people is get in there, use these tools, educate yourself, be curious, ask lots of questions, and think broadly. Like don't be disrupted. Go out and disrupt. So there's just so much innovation. It's happening so fast that you really got to have your finger on the pulse and be flexible in how you think about your business. So that inflexibility can be the death knell on a business. And I think in this fast moving space, that would be my counsel to your members. Be
Thank
curious,
you.
open minded, ask a lot of questions.
Yeah. And I have a good last question to ask you about Horizon OS, but you're right. Before we get there, we encourage all of our members to be sponges, to learn, and we pride ourselves on being very agile and competitive to learn, grow, and build and deliver value. So let's, as a final question, and we appreciate your time, Dominic, Horizon OS sounds like there's some exciting news going on. You want to tell us about that?
Yeah, actually, we launched this at CES this year. Horizon OS stands for Horizon Open Sphere, but also plays on the operating system as well. I mean, it's really a framework that we deploy to show how we're innovating, how we're deploying and using technology to drive clients' growth. So, technology enablers like our Blue platform, which we've spoken about, how we're using AI internally to provide the tools to our teams to service our clients much more efficiently and extract insights. And then there's a human intelligence layer of the Horizon OS, as well as having people that are dedicated to scouring the industry, looking for innovation, working with partners, translating technology into business answers and solutions. So Horizon OS is our framework and operating system for all the tools and capabilities that we've amassed in a couple of categories to really help our clients take advantage of the technology and deploy it to grow their business.
Dominic, I'm so glad you termed it Horizon OS with the Sphere in there in Las Vegas during the CES, where, of course, the Sphere is a major part of that whole experience in CES. So, look, I really want to thank you for the tour, for working together, Horizon Media and Bill and yourself. You do some great work over there, and there's a lot going on. And then thank you in your vanguard of change and your quarter turns to take one turn towards us and to our camera to help us understand your thinking and the company's thinking. And great to see you.
Well, thanks, Barry. Always a pleasure, and a big fan of what you're doing with DPAA and the members there. It's always exciting to engage with you. Thank you.
Pleasure, Dominic. Thank you, buddy. So, as discussed with Dominic at CES, the Consumer Electronics Show, DPAA builds and executes a curated experience for all of our members. We network, we bond, we have a great kickoff dinner with our brand leaders as we overlook the Bellagio fountains each year in Las Vegas. We have our bespoke floor tour where we see up close and personal the latest in consumer tech, and we discuss how it will change our business and advertising. Dominic was our well informed tour guide this year. We had a special networking cocktail party also this year with our industry leading member, Outfront Media, under some great new leadership with Nick Bryan. And the crux of what we do is we have private discussions at these events with leading brands, heads of media at the brands, heads of marketing at the brands, and we all learn just so much. They're designed to be small and interactive, so we have an intimate setting where everybody gets a chance to learn, connect, and do business. In fact, this year, our members interacted with and had great conversations with MasterCard, United Airlines, Zoom, your video communications medium, X, formerly Twitter, Beezer Homes, Valvoline, Gold's Gym, and also the director of marketing for Android. Here are some moments from those interviews to give you a sense on what's on these marketers' minds and what they have to say about advertising, marketing, digital out of home, and how they're growing their business.
I really want to disrupt the industry. I don't think that people have taken home building to a place where kind of traditional brand building has been. I think people are like location, location, location. Everybody's heard that. I think it's a little more than that. The way I view outdoor is really a complement to sort of a hybrid digital in-person media ecosystem. So whether it's Something as simple as directional to complement whatever you've got on Google Maps or Yelp, whatever. Okay, so make sure that that is helping, that we're thinking about the customer journey very consistently. There's a part to me that's storytelling. And so whether you're at a mall and, I know I'm building 5 minutes away, okay, well, let's do a little storytelling. What do we stand for? Again, let's talk about the energy efficiency. Let's talk about the healthier air, the healthy living. Let's talk about mortgage choice, which does really well from a performance standpoint. But also when you get inside of the home, signage is really important.
But if people aren't familiar, what we are doing right now, it's running in Manhattan on your traditional yellow taxi cabs. We have out-of-home digital boards that are running and in real time show you dynamically from the location of that taxi in Manhattan, how long it would take you to get to Newark Airport or JFK Airport. And it's been a lot of fun. And I've had a ton of people in the industry send me texts and emails saying, I saw your taxi toppers, or I read the news article. So it's been wonderful just to see even how well received it's been among fellow marketers.
Interesting. Some really good stuff there. DPAA runs these curated experiences for members at large industry conferences such as CES, Possible. Please join us for Possible in Miami. It's become the Cannes Lions of the springtime, as well as we do this at Cannes Lions. In fact, these industry events, they can be pretty daunting and difficult to maneuver on your own or the first few times you're there, but we act as the Sherpa and we bring our members together to have great meetings, great experiences. We do some social gatherings, which are fun as well, but everybody comes away with building connections and building business. We do dinners there, and we make sure from the DPAA team that everybody gets to know each other and walk away with a more full Rolodex and great business opportunities. If you're a member and you're interested in joining us, please contact your DPAA representative. For our next section of the podcast, we're having a chat with Hamad Benjaloun. He's my friend and also CEO and co-founder of AiOO, and they're our partners for this Launchpad of Innovation podcast. Hamad, welcome. You're coming from beautiful Dubai, where you've got lots of sand, lots of great weather, and we've got lots of snow here. Is it? I know it's nighttime, but is the weather okay?
Yeah, the weather is still okay for another couple of months.
Yeah, then it gets really hot, and you can't even stay outside, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Wow. Well, like you've got a beach of sand. My backyard is like a beach of snow. I haven't seen grass in my backyard for about 2 months. It's crazy. But good. Glad you're here. And let's talk a little bit about digital out of home. So great you're here. If we look at digital out of home and retail media, two of the fastest growing forms of ad media today. And, we at DPAA, we have members around the world like you and media owners that reach people on their daily journey, on their path to purchase, and increasingly now more actually at the point of purchase, which is a powerful mechanism for brands to reach consumers. And there's a lot of trends going on in both digital out of home and retail media. Can you kind of give us your view, Hamad, of what you see trending for 2026?
Yeah, absolutely. So as you said, digital out of home and retail media are the fastest growing channels in the media industry. And over Q4 and Q1, we've had conversations with partners from different parts of the world in the Middle East, Dubai, Saudi Arabia, Pakistan, south of Europe, Spain, Portugal, and North Africa. And what we noticed, the first trend is the incredible acceleration of digitization. So we have countries like Pakistan, for example, where even corner shops are getting screens. They don't have a lot of shopping centers and malls in there. But they have a lot of retail, the retail that happens with corner shops. So some ad networks, some media networks are starting aggregating screens and advertising spaces in there. We've seen that as well in Spain, where you have petrol stations that are putting more and more screens and starting to offer that. So this trend is mainly because there's demand, there's growing demand from brands to spend in those environments. And as you said, they want to get closer to the point of sale. And two, also technology helps a lot because there are many companies out there today that are offering turnkey solutions for retailers so they can start monetizing their inventory, because In many countries, retailers were struggling. How do we put a screen? How do we manage content? How do we manage ads? How do we invoice that? How do we sell them? So now there are many turnkey solutions that are doing a great job. So that's number one trend that I observed, which is this growing digitization in different parts of the world. Second one, and is a bit of a correlation of it, is the automation. So automation is happening both in tier one, the tier one segment of the industry, where major agencies, major brands, and major media owners, our retailers, are automating their processes for direct buys, but also for programmatic. So, and this aggregation of and this growing number of screens that are in transport, in grocery stores, are better sold through programmatic because it's easier to plan, it's easier to execute. So that's the automation. That's a very, very noticeable trend. The third one is audience planning. Today, brands and agencies don't only want to buy locations, screens, they want to buy audiences. They want to buy moments. You have the FIFA World Cup happening in the US this summer. So a lot of people are trying to buy moments. A lot of brands are trying to buy moments, trying to plan their campaigns in advance using historical data, strategies or methodologies like screen scoring, mobility data. And we're seeing growing interest and adoption more than anything, adoption of that. The third trend that we are, the fourth trend that we are observing is dynamic creative optimization, the use of that creative content that is triggered by specific events that are happening, whether in digital out-of-home environments, outdoor environments, or even in retail media. And here again, technology helped a lot because brands were struggling to deliver campaigns because when they're running a campaign on TV, on social media, usually they have one format, one ad that is running. But now retailers and media owners tell them, listen, guys, you can adjust or adapt your creative depending on the time of the day, on the weather, on the audience and all that. But just tell them, we don't have such creatives that are available, and there's no way our creative agency will deliver all that in such a short period of time. So now there are also a growing number of technologies and platforms that are doing a great job with AI and with other technologies to help speed up this process of dynamic creative optimization. And the impact we've measured on a few campaigns, the impact is there. Like creative, we know that for centuries, the creative has a dramatic impact on the performance of the campaign. And the last trend that we observed, and yet you mentioned, Barry, is the push for retail media. But retail media, the way we observed it is, and as you described it, is brands trying to get closer to the point of sale where the decision happens. We didn't see that much of strategies, campaigns where retailers are using their retailer first-party data to activate campaigns with a higher value for the brands. Same way we've been observing it for the last few years online. So those are, in a nutshell, the different trends that we've been observing by talking with different clients and partners in different parts of the world.
Any final words for our audience?
I think it's just an amazing time we're in today because it's really buoyant. There are a lot of technologies. There's a lot of consolidation happening. Just be curious, reach out to different players that are in the market, and I'm sure there are great things that are ahead by keeping eyes to the sky.
Love that. That's great. So look, for all of the answers, everybody join our DPW events around the world. We've got events in London, New York, Miami, Cannes, Toronto, and a lot of webinars every month online. And that concludes our first podcast, the Launchpad of Innovation. Thank you all for joining us. Brought to you by Hamad and AiOO, and live from Dubai and New York. It's great to see you and say hi to all my friends at your wonderful company, Hamad.
Thanks, Barry.
Thank you.